To me, set you free, even bow down. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is the motherfucking Rob Black Show. You can't exist. Sit the Judas Kiss. All right, motherfuckers. We are here, and we are coming at you. Oh, Christ. I'm coming at you on this 8:04 p.m. And it's late night with Rob Black. I am your host, Robert Black. And some continents, they call me Roberto Negro. And some other places, they call me El Diablo. In other places, they call me the most handsome man in America. Some places, they call me the most gorgeous man in the world. And in other places, they just say, I'm simply fucking delicious. How are you tonight? And I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be delicious with all of you. So, let's talk, and let's get into the evening's events. And I just came from a fine meal. I had a whole concoction that I cooked, and I have a couple pieces of flesh, almost as if I was gnawing on Tom Byron's old, decrepit meat in my teeth right here. I got a couple pieces of skirt steak that I sauteed with little green peppers. And I'm in a little pain. Not pain as if I was being raped by 7 or 8 rugged Nazi skinheads in the middle of Germany, and I was a little Jewish fellow screaming, no, no, no. Not that type of pain. I am talking pain of a discomfort. One as the doctor who sticks his finger up your asshole during a physical, checking to see if your colon is riddled with cancer, or I should say prostate. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the discomfort I have. Now, I don't have anything to drink. At the commercial break, I'm going to have to go and run across the street and get something. That will be what I will have to take care of. So I'm going to get through the first segment as best as I can, because that's what I do. I'm a trooper, all right? I'm a rebel, all right? I do what I got to do to bring you guys quality entertainment. Now, I would like to say it's fun for the whole family, boys and girls, of all ages, but we're not. This is a NC-17 show, okay? We are beyond an R. R rating, you could get in accompanied by your parents. Your fucking warped, disgusting, vile parents who would subject a child to an R-rated film. This is not what it does. We prohibit even a horrible parent to bringing their child in to watch this program. This is only intended for people that are over the ages of 7. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we're an NC-17. We are something that I would hate to label us. We're not X-rated because we don't shoot nudity. We don't show nudity. We don't show breasts. We don't show cock. We don't show balls. I would say we are no rating. We are a rating system that means, oh my God, this is disturbing. That is what we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are straight up disturbing, and I like it that way. I like to disturb people, okay? And I got a pocket full of change, and it bothers me. So I'm going to put that there. I'm also going to take this, I'm going to look for a piece of paper that I can stick in between my teeth. That's disgusting. I know it's disgusting. But, hey, I've got a little PAI that's going on, and I would like to dig out the fleshy, meaty particles that are in my teeth. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody doing good? Is everybody feeling good? I know I'm feeling good. And I've told you all before, it's better to look good than it is to feel good. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling good and I'm looking good. So we've got both bases covered. And we're going to, I think, jump into, I think we're going to jump into, I think we're going to jump into a quick comment on current events. Yes, I think we're going to jump into a quick comment on current events, just because I was just really engrossed by this on the way here, and then we'll jump into some butt-fucking pornography, because I actually have a question about an issue with Ginger Lynn, and I got deep questions for her. And if she could answer them, or any of her friends could answer them, I would appreciate that. But when we were driving here, I was looking at my Yahoo updates, and it had a update about two things. I said it 3 times. One, the WWE Network launching their special channel, and the $9.95 all-access pay-per-view /TV /Hulk Hogan returning there, Hulkamania running wild and debuting and having his own show. But then it switched to UFC, and they had a show this weekend. And more importantly, which I found incredibly entertaining and telling, when you hear everybody preach about UFC and UFC fighters and how it's the greatest sport in the world and it surpassed boxing and fuck boxing and UFC fighters are gazillionaires. Well, I was reading a Yahoo article where they got a hold of the payrolls for UFC, and the fact that they have to announce the payrolls when it is a sanctioned and athletic commission, meaning in Nevada, and they actually have to put out what the fighters were paid. And when I read this sheet from the great UFC and UFC 170 that just happened this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, either UFC doesn't make the money that everybody likes to crow and bitch about, or Dana White is just bending everybody over, fucking them in the ass, and not using lube and basically making them eat his dirty, infested fucking shit. Now, I'm not real sure which one it is, but let me run the money figures down. And let me stress this. It fucking talks about how these figures do not include, and it's not disclosed to the Athletic Commission what their pay-per-view bonuses are or a fight night bonus. But even if you put people's pay-per-view bonuses, which you better be a motherfucking superstar to get any type of pay-per-view bonus, which these people are making horrific money. So again, either Dana White and his band of corrupt criminals are just raping everybody in UFC, or UFC is not as popular and is not as a big money-making business as everybody seems to think it is. So now let me explain to you why these are all legit. Mixed martial art fighters do not have a collective bargaining or a union. Unlike baseball, football, real sports, and they are not as popular, regardless of what any of you want to brag about, as boxing. Now, if you want to sit there and say boxing, oh, that's not. Listen, if you take a Mayweather and you take the big boxing names and put it against a big UFC fighter name, boxing outdraws it and out pay-per-views it, hands down. Hands fucking down. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you. There is no collective bargaining or union. The fighters' salaries are still public record, just as with every other major sport in the United States. Any undisclosed bonuses that a promoter also pays its fighters, but does not disclose to the Athletic Commission, specifically pay-per-view bonuses, fight of the night bonuses, etc. They're not included in the figures below. So we all heard the fight of the night bonuses. Now, if a fighter gets the fight of the night bonus, which doesn't happen to every fighter, that is excluded. And I can 100% unequivocally tell you that none of the fighters on UFC 170 were getting a piece of the pay-per-view revenue. Didn't happen. So, with that being said, listen to these figures for the great UFC superstars. You want to know how much Ronda Rousey got? And she was the main event. Her face was plastered on every fucking UFC poster out there. That entire event was based on Ronda Rousey against Sarah McMahon. You want to know how much Ronda Rousey got? $110,000. Includes $55,000 in a win bonus. So that girl got 50 fucking grand to fight. And another fucking, I am flabbergasted. And you know how much Sarah McMahon got? $16,000. How is that for the great UFC? That's how much Sarah McMahon got. $16,000. That is embarrassing. And Daniel Cormier, he got $160,000, and $80,000 of it was a win bonus, which means his base pay again was less than $100,000. You know how much Patrick Cummings got? $8,000. That means Sarah McMahon got more money than Patrick Cummings got. I am fucking flabbergasted. Rory McDonald got $100,000, which included $50,000 for the win bonus. And Damina Maia got $64,000. Mike Pyle got $96,000, which included $48,000 of it was a win bonus. And TJ Waldberger got 18 grand. Stephen Thompson got 28,000, and that included 14,000, which was his win bonus, and he defeated Robert Whitaker, and Robert Whitaker got 15,000 bucks. Alex Davis got 30,000. Half of that was his win bonus, and he got and beat Jessica I, who got $8,000. Rafael Asinkoa got $56,000, which includes 28 of it for a win bonus, and Pedro Munoz got $8,000. Aljamain Sterling got 16,000. 8 of it was bonuses, and Cody Gibson got 8 grand. Zach Makavosky got 24,000. Half of that, 12,000, were win bonus, and the guy he beat, Joseph Sampo, got 10 grand. Eric Koch got $30,000. Half of that was win bonus, and Rafael Oliveira got 14,000. And rounding out the list was Ernest Chavez, who got 16,000. Half of that was win bonus, which was 8, and he defeated Yosindas Sendino, and he got 8,000. So UFC's 170 disclosed fighter payroll was $843,000. That is fucking pathetic. So the sport that is supposed to be the future of fucking of just every fucking thing that is fuck boxing, fuck Floyd Mayweather. Do you realize that Floyd Mayweather's fight, his last fight against a mediocre opponent, drew almost 3 million buys, and he received something like a $45 to $50 million paycheck, and the guy that he fought got something like 10 million. Now again, you got to put headliner against headliner. You can't sit there and go, oh, well, what about the boxing that's on HBO After Dark? Well, we're not talking about that, just like we're not talking about UFC that's on Spike TV. We're talking about when Dana White goes and sticks his chest out, and he's a macho man, and starts talking fucking like a tough guy, and he's during press conferences and running his mouth and talking about how UFC is the greatest sport, it's better than all the other combat sports, and his league is the greatest league, and his fighters are the best treated, and yada, yada, yada. And at the end of the day, his apples to apples, oranges to oranges, pay-per-view event that has the feature Ronda Rousey, who is supposed to be the future of women's fighting. Her face is the cover of UFC 170. Her face and her fucking likeness and everything about her is what is drawing the people to attendance. That is who's drawing the pay-per-views. And that girl didn't even make more than 100. Do you realize she got $110,000? Half of that was a win bonus. So that means all she got was $55,000 for that fight. Do you guys fucking realize that she made 110 grand and now she's going to pay 33% to 35% in taxes on that? She made shit. No wonder why the girl's got to fight every 2 fucking months. And she's the face? That's the draw? 100? Are you guys insane? The UFC payroll was less than what... that is unfathomable to me. And this is supposed to be the sport that is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Seriously. Seriously. Are you guys out of your fucking minds? $843,000. Now, we don't throw in the fight of the night bonus, which, okay, let's just throw $25,000 on there. And pay-per-view bonus. Okay, well, we know Ronda Rousey's not going to get a bonus that is more than her fucking salary for the fight for a pay-per-view. Same thing with Daniel Cormier. So, all intents and purposes, just throw on another $100,000 on the payroll. Their fucking payroll didn't even break $1 million. And this is the future? This is supposed to be the most popular fucking combat sport in the world? Get the fuck out of here. What, are you kidding me? Please. Manny Pacquiao's next fight's going to do bigger than this. Manny Pacquiao's next fight's going to do bigger than this. Floyd Mayweather. Do you realize that Floyd Mayweather and the boxing that will come up with Floyd Mayweather, that one pay-per-view will outdraw and outgross and out-revenue generate an entire year's worth of UFC events. $110,000 for Ronda Rousey. And she's the face of MMA. No wonder why Tito Ortiz is driving around drunk on the 405 crashing into shit. No wonder why the cocksucker doesn't have a fucking limo driver in a limo. No wonder why you Chuck Liddell and these guys are all fucking broke. And you would think, I would imagine these guys are living high on the hog, but they're not. If the top draw for a UFC event today is getting 100 grand, I can only imagine what those poor bastards got in their day. Would they get 10 grand? Here, Chuck and Tito, here's 10 grand a piece. Go have fun. Jesus, somebody better go lift up Dana White's fucking mattress and find the money. Because if UFC is the top draw of all sports and pay-per-views, and they're the most successful fighting league, somebody better bust out some fucking money somewhere, because Dana White and his band of criminal friends are fucking reaping all the rewards. WrestleMania, a bunch of fake old guys beating each other up is going to draw more. No wonder why Brock Lesnar didn't go back to the UFC. What are you guys, insane? Brock Lesnar sat there and went, I'm going to get 10 times the amount of money that I could make in UFC, and I don't even have to get hurt, and I'll be in the WWE. The UFC and Dana White need Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't need UFC and Dana White. Fucking Brock Lesnar actually got fucking smart. He actually hooked up with some smart people, and they went, yo, bro, why would you go and make all this money for UFC? And he went, 'cause I don't know. And they went, asshole, we're going to give you a couple million, and you're going to go like this. And he went, okay. Well, they said, don't go to UFC, you idiot. You're going to fucking risk getting your head pummeled in by a bunch of savages so they could give you a couple $100,000. What, are you kidding me? He's going to fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania next month. And Lesnar's probably going to get $1 million for the fucking thing. Vince McMahon's going to draw over 1 million buy rate for a bunch of guys fake punching each other. Fucking UFC. I'm serious. I was like, I can't wait. I got to just tell someone about this. So instead, I decided to tell all my audience. UFC, what a fucking joke. I knew they were just a fucking fad. I remember years ago when my retarded cousin Mark, remember years ago when everybody you met was doing MMA? Oh, I'm an MMA guy. I'm an MMA guy. I'm an MMA guy. Remember everybody, anybody that used to get bullied in school because they didn't know how to fight, or because in school you had to like actually fucking boom, 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 fight. You couldn't roll around on the ground. You couldn't fucking choke people out. Because the minute you start doing that, I just pick up a fucking baseball bat and smack you in the fucking head with it. So when somebody actually had to do mano-a-mano, these people got the shit kicked out of them. So when MMA came on the scene, and you could fucking roll around and get somebody's ankle and twist it off, and that was considered cool, you had every fucking wannabe jerk-off and every guy that was ever bullied growing up putting on a bunch of half gloves going, I'm an MMA guy. Ooh, I'm going to train. And I remember, man, there was MMA schools everywhere. It was the biggest thing. Yeah. Look now, here we are 4 years later, and their top draw, A, is a chick. So UFC's top fucking draw is a fucking girl. And on top of that, she ain't drawing enough to get more than $55,000. So if that girl would have lost, she would have made $55,000. And then after taxes, she would have walked out of there with $25,000. And that's the face of MMA. Unbelievable. I told my cousin years ago, yo, man, you do realize MMA is a fad. No, it's more popular than boxing. It's gonna surpass. It's bigger than boxing. Boxing shit. I'm like, bro, boxing's not shit. Boxing goes through periods of time where they don't have charismatic fighters. But at the end of the day, even the less charismatic fighters, like the Klitschko brothers, will still draw and get paid more than Ronda Rousey. Have you ever heard of a fucking Klitschko brother getting less than $50,000 for a fight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Fucking Manny Pacquiao's gonna bring in about $20 million on his next fucking fight. And the guy that he's fighting is gonna bring in a couple mil just for taking an ass whooping by Manny. And it's just amazing. Amazing. Fucking amazing how horrible UFC has gotten down to. And think about it, UFC's got TV show after TV. I mean, they got regular television. They got, do you want to be an Ultimate Fighter? Do you want to suck Dana White's dick? Do you want Dana White to fuck you in the ass? They've got more events to bring notice to their fucking sport. And at the end of the day, their fucking main event draw got less than a fucking $55,000 to fucking fight. And that's the face of MMA. That's the person that's on ESPN magazines, Sports Illustrated, and she's getting less than fucking $55,000 to fucking fight. That's fucking pathetic. Jesus, the girl she beat up got $16,000. Oh my God. $16,000. $16,000. My boy Jack Smack goes, Brock Lesnar got his ass kicked by Alistair Overeem. He had to retire because the doctors told him any more trauma to his abdomen he could die. Well, guess what, Jack Smack? Brock Lesnar is going to make a couple $1 million doing some fake wrestling, and the most a UFC fighter made for fucking for fucking UFC fucking main event the other night was $100,000, Jack Smack. UFC 170, $100,000. The guy whose face wasn't even on the posters, Daniel Cormier, he got more money than Ronda Rousey. Do you guys get that? Ronda Rousey, who's had every fucking publicity known to man. She's not shaking people's hands in the thing. She's trying to be a pro wrestler. She's trying to draw fucking heat. And she got paid less than a guy I've never heard of, Daniel Cormier. That is fucking pathetic. And the girl that was supposed to be this great competitor for Ronda got $16,000. $16,000. A girl in the porn business can go to Dubai and fuck one of the Saudi princes without a rubber and get fucking HIV/AIDS and make more than $16,000. All right? The fucking slobs in our business that go barebacking with the Saudi princes and come back spreading their fucking gonorrhea and their syphilis and their AIDS on everybody, they at least come back with more than $16,000. This fucking girl, McMahon, Sarah McMahon, basically almost fucking got crippled. And she makes less than a porn hooker that's going to Dubai and contracting fucking AIDS and whatever else they get from barebacking some dirty fucking terrorist Muslim. It's pathetic. But hey, that is UFC. And as my cousin said 4 years ago, it's the sport that's the most popular sport in the world, man. You don't understand. UFC is going to be bigger than football. Get the fuck out of here. Are you retarded? Are you fucking retarded, you moron? That's my cousin. My cousin, that's from my uncle Chuck Zane's side. That's where all the retards fucking come from. That side of the family are all retards. Literally, dude, they're all retards. So, God bless. No wonder why Brock Lesnar went back to the WWE. He doesn't have to worry about getting hurt, and he makes fucking 10 times the amount of money. Exactly. Thank you. Next. Amazing. So I needed to share that with you guys because it completely made me laugh when I was on my way here. So it's a Rob Black show. And I'm going to send Tom Byron an article so he could finish a story. Tom Byron right now is working on Tom Byron right now is working on the story from this afternoon, which is listen, I'm Jack Smack. If you were here right now, I would fuck you in your ass. I swear to God. Jack Smack goes, I know wrestling is staged, but I'd rather take my chances in MMA than wrestling. I don't have to worry about any chair shots, standing chair shots, not the fake ones when the guy is getting hit while down. Dana White blows goats, though. Jack Smack, if you're a good enough wrestler, you don't have to take chair shots. If you're a good enough wrestler, you can have a thing that we called a no-bump policy, which means you don't take hard bumps. And if you're a good enough wrestler, you could be Hulk Hogan and be at the age of 60 and still sign $1 million contracts with the World Wrestling Entertainment. You're talking about low-level douchebags in the wrestling world, or the indie scene, like we worked and we took chair shots. But even we and certain wrestlers that I protected didn't have to do the hardcore stuff, like go through barbed wire or get hit with thumbtacks and take chair shots. It all depended. Anyways, Jack Smack, I want to fucking jack off on you. Just the name Jack Smack. I want to jack smack my dick on your face. All right, Patrick. Are you, Patrick? You're gonna make me put on another UFC thing? Oh, he's showing me all these things where Dana White is getting grilled about the pay and why the wrestlers are getting paid what they do. And has a thing of Ted Shamrock blasting UFC on fighter salaries and life after fighting and things like that. So let me hear once what Ted Shamrock says, because I'm sure Ken has got to fucking talk about exactly what I'm saying.
As Jones and Son look to capture box office magic this Saturday, a man that is no stranger to drawing money is UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock. Despite being the key draw from 1993 through 96 and again in the 2000s with his landmark trilogy of fights with Tito Ortiz, Shamrock finds himself disenfranchised from the Zuffa organization. Shamrock recently spoke to John Randy here in the studio on his criticisms of the way his former employers are running their business.
I have a personality. My personality is I have this kind of almost just like a protection thing built into me. And it's probably because of my background. It's like I don't like to see people get hurt. I don't like to see people get taken advantage of. And I speak my mind when I see something wrong and other people are being hurt. And so I've done that in the UFC. I've seen things that are wrong. I see the lies that are being told. I know the money that's being made. And I know that people are being lied to. And to me, it's not that I hate Dana White. I think Dana White's trying to protect himself. And also I think the Fertitas are trying to protect themselves. But there's more money being made there, and they're lying to people about the money being made. And to me, that's wrong, because now you're going to have guys, and I know because I've been through it. I've been through that. You're going to have guys that are going to fight 4 or 5 times and maybe 10 times, and then they're going to be done. And those guys, and we ain't seen it yet, but in another 10 years, you'll start seeing a lot of these guys go to prison, see guys murdering, dying of drugs, overdoses because they're depressed, they can't make money any other way, they're being taken advantage of, that should have made money, that should have made enough money to retire. And because they're not making enough money, because people in organizations like the UFC are putting $100,000 paintings on their wall instead of putting $100,000 in their fighter's pocket.
I'm not even you know what's can you believe this? I'm not even a fucking, I'm not even a UFC fan. Like, I don't know all the inner workings of UFC. And at the end of the day, when I see the fighters and what they just made on this pay-per-view, question and either say UFC is not nearly as popular as everybody says, or Dana White and his fucking gangster boys are fucking banking millions while a bunch of these workers are getting the shit beat out of them. So look at that. Again, I don't follow UFC. I followed it when Tito Ortiz fought and Ken fought, and even prior to that, when Gracie, you had no real rules, and everybody just beat the shit out of each other. Tank Abbott and that crew. I never watched it when it evolved, but even I knew that looking at the Yahoo article and them talking about the fighters and the money they made, was able to go, somebody's getting fucked here. Somebody's getting fucked. And the fighters are the ones that are getting fucked. because that money and the amount of, or I should say lack of money going to the fighters is pretty pathetic. And see, again, we call boxing what you want, and as fucked up and as corrupt as anybody would say, the way the boxing world works, man, those boxers, those draws in boxing, they get the big end of that money. Oscar De La Hoya, all of those boxers that were the draws, that were, again, you guys, you have to put apples to apples and oranges to oranges. You can't talk about mid-card boxers, just like I'm not talking about mid-card UFC guys. You got to talk about UFC guys that were represented to be the draw, the number one talent. If you take the number one draws and the number one talent and put them against boxing's number one draws and number one talent, boxing and boxers got 20 times the amount of money a UFC guy. Those boxers, from Floyd Mayweather, De La Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, even the like I said, Klitschko brothers, Michael Moore, all these guys, all got huge paydays because they sat down with the promoters, and the promoters sat there and went, well, we can't really lie to these guys and say, well, we're charging $60 for a pay-per-view, and we're going to get 1 million buys, and that's going to generate $60 million and or $30 million or whatever the fuck money figures based on people's cuts. And if there's $25 million left in the pie, we can't very well tell this fighter, here's $1 million bucks. They couldn't do it. Even scumbag Don King, at the end when people were making big money, couldn't do it. And at the end, Don King got forced out because you had people like Bob Arum and other boxing promoters that stepped in and said, whoa, wait a minute, kid. Don King's taking all your money, and we're only going to take half. So I know nothing about UFC, but I know enough that when I look at Ronda Rousey making 55 grand, and she's the face that's on all the UFC posters. She's the one that when I turn open any of the newspapers going into that weekend's fights, it's her face. When I go on ESPN or any of the sports channels, it's about Ronda Rousey, Ronda Rousey, Ronda Rousey. And she gets 55 grand? What, are you kidding me? Why, fuck, Steve Hirsch will pay her triple that to get fucked in the ass by James Dean, for Christ's sakes. Seriously. Ronda Rousey could make more money doing porn than she can getting the shit beat out of her. Think about it. If she went to Steve Hirsch right now and said, I will do porn. I will do fucking porn. But I want a check right now for $500,000, and you get one scene from me. Steve Hirsch would cut that bitch a check for $500,000 and go, here you go. And that would equal, what, 20 fights of Ronda Rousey headlining. That is amazing, you guys. I bet you if Ronda Rousey went to Steve Hirsch tomorrow and said, I want $1 million and I will fucking have James Dean plow my little tight fucking asshole, Stephen Hirsch would say, you got to give me 2 days to go to my mattress to get out my money. Do you get that? And Ronda Rousey would make more money getting fucked up her ass. I'm not talking about scene work, idiots. I'm talking about a one and done. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey walking into the Vivid building saying, you got one shot for me to get fucked up my ass and get a fucking face full of jizz. You got one shot, motherfuckers. You can broadcast it on pay-per-view. You can do whatever you want, but you got one shot, and I want $1 million. Steve Hirsch would give that girl $1 million, and that would be fucking more money than she'll ever make in UFC. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pathetic. That, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking pathetic. Ronda Rousey got $55,000 for fucking her main event fight. You can't include the other 55 guys because that was for winning. So if she would have lost, she would have walked away with 55 grand. She would have walked away with a $55,000 paycheck. And that's Ronda Rousey. That's Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get any more pathetic than that, man. Seriously, you can't get any more pathetic than that. Can't get it. Can't get it. Listen to this.
Crystal Marine, one of the biggest names in the history of mixed martial arts, now works as a bodyguard for Record 50 Cent. UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, once known by most MMA fans as the world's most dangerous man, is using his physicality to his advantage and embarking on a new career. Shamrock was spotted on 50 Cent's personal protection detail at the CES convention in Las Vegas this week. And afterward, Ken confirmed he's now working for a company that does private security for several high-end clients. After the convention, Ken tweeted that it was a pleasure working for 50 and said the rapper is, quote, by far one of the classiest gents I have ever worked with. Shamrock is a pioneer in the sport of MMA. He fought in the first ever UFC event in 1993. During his career, he has fought in Japan in both Time Crate and Pride Fighting Championships. He's also wrestled in the World Wrestling Federation. So there you have it. Don't mess with 50 Cent, or you might end up in a nasty ankle lock. 50 Cent doesn't play around when it comes to his safety. For more on your favorite athletes, visit us at thefumble.com.
Wow. So, Ken Shamrock's a fucking bodyguard now. Woo! That's horrible. That's horrible. Wow. That is horrible. Horrible. Wow. And Katie just sent me another me. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. Katie just sent me John Morgan talks about UFC and pay. John Morgan talks UFC and money. John Morgan didn't get into mixed martial arts for fame. Quite frankly, he didn't really get into satisfying any real hunger for competition. He Morgan started training fight 2009, one thing in mind, money. I didn't get into the sport to be a poster or be a household name, Margaret. So it's been let my kids grow up with everything I didn't have. He was who faces blah, blah, blah. But the reason he trains multiple times a day, makes sacrifices so he can, is to fight and provide two for his sons. His most recent performance, a submission win over Chris Carcio at UFC 55 in December, was the opening fight of the event. Most of the Las Vegas crowd didn't show up to see it. UFC paid Morgan a salary of $22,000, according to Nevada. Had Morgan lost, he would have just made $11,000. Half of the salary came from a win bonus, which is included in the majority of UFC contracts also. He would have been 1-1 in the UFC fight. Fighters who fall to 1 and 2 are routinely cut from the UFC roster. Wow. When he submitted Casio at UFC 155, Morgan also was the recipient of a $65,000 submission of the night bonus. Just 2 fights into his deal, he's in position to win a UFC bout, possibly headline a pay-per-view event in the future. Morgan's view is the company forces him to earn his money. If he performs to its expectation, they take care of him. Morgan's guaranteed paycheck, let's see, for that debut was only $9. In the UFC debut, the one where he knocked out Gomez, and he was awarded an extra check. Morgan was originally scheduled to fight Ian McCall. McCall ranked number 3 flyweight in the world at the time he withdrew from injury. Morgan's guaranteed paycheck for that debut was only $9,000 with the $9,000 win bonus. Wow. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh man, this whole art, I think we probably paid my UFC just $1,000, maybe talking about 400, 600. That is just crazy. Where they talk about, it's crazy. Well, that's why you're seeing the sport declining the way it is. That's why you're seeing the sport going through exactly what it's going through right now. Seriously. It's exactly where it is.
Did you consider taking more on to that? I wasn't invited to, wasn't invited to that promotion. So it's really going to take that away. There are a lot of promises that fly around this company. A lot of promises. And the reality is the bonuses that are given are bonuses that are deserved. Okay? So the ones that you hear crying about not making money, now they get crazy on you. We work in a business where we're as good as our last one. Not just them. Me too. The UFC, every time we do a fight, whether it's a pay-per-view, it's on TV or whatever, people make the decision to stay home on a Saturday night and not do anything else. When there's movies, dinners, spending time with the family, doing this, there's a lot of shit to do on a Saturday night. These people make a decision to stay home on a Saturday night and watch our show. We get a show with a bunch of guys that want to push against the fucking fence and stand there for 15 fucking minutes and try to sneak out a win. How many people do you think are going to tune in next Saturday? And if this keeps continuing, you become fucking boxing. Where guys are running around in circles, nobody fights, and you're walking away going, this fight sucked. Okay? The guys who are complaining about this are the guys that are not, that don't matter. Okay? Now, that might sound fucking mean and harsh, and why would nobody matter? Everybody matters. This is we're in this fucking society now. Everybody should win a trophy. No, everybody doesn't win a fucking trophy. Okay? The guys who stand out, the guys who deserve bonuses, the guys who make it exciting, the guys who raise at the top are the guys who deserve the money. The guys that you can have a fucking fight card what happens, and this is what I tell these guys. You don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, we did a fight on Saturday night, and fucking Anderson Silva kicked the guy in the face and fucking I don't know a bunch of other fights too. I don't remember anybody's name or what fight happened. Be the fucking guy who stands out. Be the guy that stands out. You're the guy that people want to see again. You're the guy that people want to spend money for. You're the guy that people want to buy tickets. People need to stay home on Saturday night.
This guy's such an asshole. Because his logic doesn't work. His logic doesn't work because, in theory, what he's saying, it doesn't work. How do you explain wrestlers who make more than a UFC fighter? Are you going to tell me that professional wrestlers is a bigger business than UFC? If that's the case, Jesus Christ, that's pretty pathetic. But I know for a fact that you could find probably 25 WWE wrestlers who make more money of a salary than a fucking UFC fighter. And what's Dana White's concept? Oh, well, Saturday night, people got a lot of things they can do. And if they stay home and watch a pay-per-view, they got... And if people just sit on the fence, what happens is it becomes boxing. Well, I don't know, Dana. Last time I checked, Floyd Mayweather fought and drew almost 3 million buys. A lot more than you would ever have in your motherfucking life. And, motherfucker, WWE WrestleMania will draw more than you. And the biggest draws you ever had, you fucking jerk off, was by the man named Brock Lesnar, who was a professional wrestler. So, I wish someone would smack this fucking guy right in his face. I'm surprised no UFC guy has ever smacked Dana White in his fucking face. Seriously, I would love to understand why no worker has ever slapped the shit out of Dana White. Can somebody tell me why nobody's ever slapped the shit out of fucking Dana White? I would love to fucking know. I'd love to fucking know. I seriously, I'd love to know why nobody has ever smacked the shit out of Dana White. I get the guys that are there can't go smack them, but Ken Shamrock, Tito Ortiz, I mean, are they that? Well, I guess they're that desperate and clinging on to something in UFC because they have no skill set except being a bodyguard, that they are afraid it would blow their fucking chances of ever possibly getting a payday again. But why somebody has never slapped the living shit out of Dana White is beyond comparison. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. And I wish one of you guys could clue me in on that, why nobody's ever slapped the living shit out of fucking Dana White. He is such an arrogant douchebag, and he thinks he's a tough guy. I mean, yeah, he kicked my ass, but every UFC fighter would kick the shit out of him. And if I was a UFC fighter and I was trained, I'd kick the shit out of him. But I'm not. I'm a fucking jerk-off above a strip club. But why the fuck has no goddamn UFC guy ever just laid this punk out, man? What a jerk-off. Man, if UFC is as popular as everybody says it is, there should be more than enough money. And if Dana White's concept is, well, we don't pay fighters money who do boring fights. So in that vein, all that extra money goes to Dana White. It goes to his gangster friends, and they make all the money then. So if Dana White feels you didn't have a good fight, fuck you, and you're not going to get any money. Media, what a concept that is. What a great. That's like telling Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, hey guys, you all had a bad Super Bowl, so guess what? And none of you get paid. Really? Yep. Sorry, hey, Peyton. The way we base your salary, because ladies and gentlemen, the way football players' salaries are based, they get paid per week of the football season, or they could get paid out throughout the year. Fact, I've dealt with Warren Sapp, and I know all this shit. Bonuses and so forth and so on. Can you imagine if the owners were able to fucking, the commissioner was able to call up the Denver Broncos and say, hey guys, your team was really shitty, so we're going to authorize, as the owners, to take away all their money. And then the Broncos could say, all right, Peyton, you're supposed to make, if you add it up, you're supposed to make $6 million. You don't get your $6 million. We're taking all your guys' money. And what are you going to do with it? You donate it to charity? Nah, we're just going to put it in our pocket. So go fuck yourselves. How's that? So basically, could you imagine if any other sports league was designed like that, where the fucking commissioner, the owners, were allowed to just take your money because you had a bad fucking show? Is that just amazing? That's just fucking amazing. Now, I know a lot of people who were betting on the Broncos for the Super Bowl were saying, yeah, fuck them. But, I mean, come on. If you're a Broncos fan, you're disappointed. But at the end of the day, Jesus Christ, they got to the Super Bowl. And you take all their money away, and then you know what they tell you? Well, fuck you. We're not going to play for you next year. How's that? And then you're back with fucking Tim Tebow as your fucking quarterback, you morons. Jesus Christ. Again, why no UFC fighter has ever slapped Dana White and just beat the shit out of him. I don't know, but and it's amazing that no other league has ever started up and was able to compete with Dana White. That's amazing. With the fact that the guy doesn't want to pay nobody nothing, You would think that just like in the wrestling wars, you'd get somebody with some fucking money and they would bankroll and just grab every top draw the UFC had. It's amazing, but I'll tell you, UFC's lucky Vince McMahon never fucking got into mixed martial arts, because you'd all be done. Because Vince McMahon knows how to create stars. And Vince McMahon would make stars, and he would pay those guys a lot of fucking money. And whether you like Vince McMahon or not, his stars made millions. Fucking millions. We're not talking about mid-cards or drools. We're talking about the stars. We're talking about the Hogans, the Randy Savages, Stone Cold Steve Austins, fucking John Cena's, Triple H's, fucking even guys that were not fan favorites, were great heels, got paid big fucking money. I'm telling you, the MMA people, you're lucky that Vince McMahon never got into the MMA business. If MMA would have been around and as viable as it is today when Vince decided to create a fucking professional football league, MMA, UFC, as you know, would be done. Some of you don't remember, but Vince McMahon decided he was going to get into the football business. And he actually created a professional football league. And it was fucking horrible. Great concept, and the fact to have football, another league going on, is a great concept. It's just been tried before with more smart people and more money and actual great players like Jim Kelly and Warren Moon and people like that, and it failed. And Vince at the time was fucking just out of his mind with money and with ego, and he thought he could do it. If he would have made a run at UFC, he would have put Dana White, he would have put, UFC would be owned by Vince McMahon. He knows how to create stars, he knows how to fucking promote, and he knows how to take care of his boys where everybody is happy. That's why very rarely do you see wrestlers ever leave the WWE, and if they do leave the WWE, they always come home. They always come home. No matter how much heat they have with Vince McMahon, they always come home because the money's too good. Because Vince says to him, listen, dummy, all right, I don't give a shit what happened to us in the past. I got a lot of money on the table you can make now, and that will make all of the hurt feelings go away. And every wrestler from Hulk Hogan to the Ultimate Warrior goes, all right, you're right, Vince. You're right. And they go back. Because Vince knows how to take care of the boys. He spreads that money around. That's any indication is when you see the guy and he's in the ring wrestling and he's doing what we would call a program with Stone Cold Steve Austin for over 1.5 years, and they're drawing millions of dollars. And Vince McMahon's got to put his body in the hands of a fellow employee, a worker, and they have to take care of him, which everybody did. And Vince made sure he took care of all those boys. And people like Stone Cold Steve Austin from the movies, The Rock. Look at The Rock. You understand there's a reason The Rock has never left the WWE. You know there's a reason The Rock has never, ever abandoned Vince McMahon. Why? Because Vince McMahon took care of him throughout his career when he was nothing more than a little fucking offspring of Rocky Johnson all the way to the mega movie star that he is. Vince McMahon has always took care of him, and The Rock has always took care of Vince. Because Vince knows how to treat the boys. End of story. All the good and all the bad you hear from him, at the end of the day, he always treated the boys good. And that is a great owner. That is why WWE has been on top and weathered the storm from every wrestling outfit trying to beat them, the government trying to beat them, and even losing hundreds of millions of dollars doing a professional football league. And at the end of the day, took a company public, and it's traded on the stock exchange, and Vince McMahon is a billionaire, and it's professional wrestling. Why is he successful? Once again, because he takes care of the boys. Always remember that. Always got to take care of the boys. Always got to take care of the employees. No matter what happens, they cannot starve. They can be hungry, but they can't starve. And they always got to fucking never, ever starve. And they always got to feel that they can come back home when they leave. And that's what every single one of them has always been able to do. So there's my rant on UFC. There's my rant on WWE. And now I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get myself something to drink. And when we come back, we're going to jump into a little pornography. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into a little pornography. Yes, we are. And we're going to attack all of the issues of the day. And actually, let me send Tom Byron real quick. This fucking, this lawsuit. Hold on, guys, because he's going to be asking me for it. And I'm going to get all flustered. So, hold on. Let me send this to that fucking homo, Tom Byron. Forward, Tom Byron. Evolution to Tom Byron, the fucking homo, sending. And that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, motherfuckers, we'll be back after these words from Metallica, and it's going to be The Day That Never Comes. We'll be right back. Nah, Hate Train. Nah, just a bullet away. Nah. A Day That Never Comes. It's the Rob Black Show. We'll be right back.
She lost her life. She down inside. Fight yourself, grow yourself, you have your time. God understand to get that one thing. I'll end this day. All this
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. It's 9:15. How the fuck did we get stuck into a UFC conversation? Jesus Christ. How the fuck did that happen? That's what I want to know. How the fuck did that happen? Guys, I apologize. I didn't intend. I didn't intend to have it go into such a long and God, I don't know. I didn't intend for it to go into an hour segment. I did not mean to. I was just riffing, and the thing got me so crazy of just really comedy, so to speak. And when I seen the article and just the money involved, I don't know. I just was like, I gotta read this. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Forgive me. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Forgive me, truth. Alright, so there's some, let's see if there's any porn news. I seen a funny story the other day, and I was going to talk about it, and then I was debating if I should talk about it, because I feel bad for the woman, and I do. I feel bad for her. I feel bad in the sense that I used to masturbate to her, and it's almost like the masturbation now, it's almost like the masturbation that I used to have to her is almost like I feel like I was masturbating to a retard. Seriously, that's what it feels like now. So I feel bad now. It's literally like I was masturbating to a retarded girl. So I feel bad for masturbating now. So I was debating if I was going to talk about it, but you know, this is the Rob Black Show. We talk about everything. So let's get into some porn news. And can we play my intro song? Thank you. Alright, I feel so bad. I feel so fucking bad. And it's, oh man. Alright. Okay. Before I do the run down of porn, Jesus, it's because I know it will go, this is going to go forever. So now I feel, now it's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Tommy told me just to keep it down to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna try to keep this down to 20 minutes. That way it's I follow to the Don Byron rules. So I'm gonna try this. Okay. The other day in an article, okay, and the other day I saw, and I say I saw, oh man. Okay. 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 Here we go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, the other day, I feel so bad. Okay. The other day, I think it was ABN announced a very important press release. And we didn't talk about it then, but I felt compelled to talk about it today. Now, in that press release, it was for an advertisement, so to speak, if that's, I guess, what you want to call it, or a plug, if that's what you want to call it, for Ginger Lynn. Yes, the great and old Ginger Lynn. And now, what she was doing was having a radio show on, I'm not really sure exactly what network it's on. I'm not real sure precisely where it was. I think I need Tom Byron to, well, let me see if I could do a search. And it's amazing that when you look at old articles, and it's hard to find anything that is featured in AVN, because they seem to have things out categorized or out thing. All right, here it is. So on the 24th, this was posted. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I feel horrible for talking about this. And you're probably sitting there saying, well, then don't talk about it, asshole. But it's just, it really does show you the mentality of this industry and the people that are in the industry, the people that have been part of the industry, people that are clinging on to the industry, and it makes you feel so sad for all of them, and it's horrible. It really is. Okay, let me just bring this up. So it was yesterday, on the 24th, that AVN ran an article that said, Ginger Lynn responds to recently released Sheen letters today. Adult industry legend Ginger Lynn will answer questions regarding her relationship with Charlie Sheen for the first time. And now, let me explain something to you guys. It's quite amusing that every time Charlie Sheen seems to be in the papers, regardless of what it is, Ginger Lynn seems to pop her head up and glom on to whatever publicity she could possibly squeeze out of this story one last time. And it doesn't matter what it involves with Charlie. Ginger Lynn just gloms onto it and tries to suck the juice right out. Now, the last time Charlie got in trouble, which was during the 2.5 Men controversy, where he was fired and he was going off the deep end, and he called Chuck Lorre a dirty Jew kike, or whatever he fucking called him. Now, at that time, Ginger Lynn poked her head up out of the blue to announce she was having a big auction, and she would be auctioning off some of her famous memorabilia with Charlie Sheen. And let me remind you of this. It was posted in the Los Angeles Times. So back in March 8th of 2011, this is where Ginger Lynn really made her Charlie Sheen grab for last and past fame, which is pretty amusing considering that she has a child with Stephen Hirsch that a lot of people don't know, and yet she won't say a word about that. She was booted out of her job at the Manwin radio stations, and her partner, Christy Canyon, got a job with Vivid Radio, and Ginger Lynn is basically schlumming on God knows whatever podcast she's doing, while Christy Canyon is making a paycheck every week. Now, Ginger doesn't seem to want to talk about the father of her child, who is a millionaire in the business, who's embroiled in controversy left and right, from Farrah Abraham to allegedly being a pill-popping dopehead. And Ginger Lynn will not talk or say a word about that. Instead, she talks to the Los Angeles Times about her past with Charlie Sheen. And during the time of Charlie Sheen having his meltdown and yelling about Chuck Lorre being a dirty Jew and making T-shirts that say winning, Ginger Lynn came out with an interview with Scott Collins from the LA Times and talked about how she was intimate with another side of TV's top-earning actor, one the fans can now share for a price. Oh, man. And so listen to this. This is great, guys. There's a side of him that I don't think many people hear about, Lynn said during an interview, especially because right now everybody's focusing on the negative. I have the soft, the considerate, the sensitive, the warm, the scared and encouraging sides. I have all these sides of Charlie that no one's talking about. Now, those in Sheen's corner, that is to say, anyone not among the critics whom the actor dubs trolls, can have them too, as Lynn is prepared to use an adult film collectibles site to sell off a trove of gifts, mementos, and letters. Letters Charlie Sheen sent her during their 2-year-plus romance in the early 90s. Now, coincidentally, ladies and gentlemen, these seem to be the same letters that Ginger Lynn said were just recently released by the government. Okay, again, I'm not real sure who Ginger Lynn is hanging out with and giving her proper business advice. If it was the same person that I met over drinks with Tom Byron about 6 months ago, I can only tell Ginger to please run very fast, run as fast as you can, because that person has got to be an offspring of the Duck Dynasty guys, just minus the money and minus a TV show. But keep the hillbilly, keep the trailer park, and keep the fucking retardation. Anyways, there's a baseball cap from his beloved Cincinnati Reds with Sheen's inscription on the brim, a signed self-published book of Sheen's poetry, intimate letters, a vest the actor wore in a film, a strand of pearls he bought her during a trip to Japan, and in light of Sheen's recent troubles from another round of rehab, a real conversation starter, an oversized hardcover copy of the 1991 edition, The Complete Drug References, with Sheen's inscription from one druggie to another. Charlie has a very specific, individual, warped sense of humor, which I love, Lynn said from behind the desk of her home office in her spacious house on a Woodland Hill street dotted with handsome $1 million plus properties. But the relationship ended a long time ago. I don't know Charlie today. I haven't seen him in over 15 years. Referring to the items up for auction, she said, there's someone out there who's going to appreciate them more than I do today. In unloading the Sheen items from her past, she freely admits that the profit motive is uppermost. Of course, it's a business opportunity, she said. Sheen's manager, Mark Berg, did not respond to a request for comment. Selling celebrity collectibles is a time-honored tradition in Hollywood, and the internet has only quickened the pace. Sellers on eBay have offered wads of chewing gum, supposedly chunked by Britney Spears. Nothing wrong with people trying to make a buck by selling collectibles relating to Charlie Sheen, said Paul Lemison, a Fordham University professor and pop culture expert. He's a bigger celebrity than ever before, and it's not as any demonstrable tragedies happen in connection with him, he added. Media are making plenty of money in the ads. They run in the Sheen interviews and they broadcast. Sheen and Lynn's long romance offers revealing context for the antics of the TV star, who on Monday was officially fired from CBS smash sitcom 2.5 Men after a verbal duel with his employees. Now 48, Illinois-born Lynn was one of the top sex stars of the early 1980s. Just as the VCR was pulling porn out of the shadows and into the middle-class living rooms, blonde and petite with a look patterned in part after Madonna during that early MTV era, Lynn, her real name Ginger Lynn Allen, was the first and probably best known of Sheen's porn star girlfriends, a habit the actress continued to do to this day with such successors as Brie Olson, one of what Sheen calls the goddesses, who have occupied his Mulholland Drive mansion. Sheen met Lynn in early 1999 or 1990 after she had left adult movies. She would later return to the business for 2 brief stints. She was trying to build a career in mainstream features with a small part in the Western Young Guns 2, which co-starred Sheen's brother Emilio Estevez. Sheen, already a movie star thanks to acclaimed performances in Platoon and Wall Street, was smitten and pursued her aggressively, she said, but she agreed to first date only in a group setting. The pair ended up joining Christian Slater, Kiefer Sutherland, and other actors at a strip bar, where Lynn said she watched Sheen dance. When he ended up going back to his room that night, she recalled. Within a month, Lynn said Sheen had broken off his engagement with actress Kelly Preston, but his family and handlers weren't nearly as sold on the young star's new girlfriend, whom she believed would tarnish this then pristine manatee idol image. We had this relationship. It was fabulous. It was wonderful, Lynn said. The hardest part was attorney and managers and agents and publicists and people saying, do this, don't do that. Ginger's going to ruin your career, and that's not going to be good for you. It didn't help that in 1991, Lynn was convicted in a federal tax evasion case. She ended up serving 4.5 months in prison. Their nights were also disappearing into a haze of heavy-duty partying, Lynn said. When it came to drug and alcohol abuse, I was right there with him. She said it almost like he was the male version of me, and I was the female version of him. In August of 1990, Sheen showed up unexpectedly at her house with a playful love letter he'd written in rehab, now one of the items to be auctioned. I'm sitting in bed writing to you from my penthouse suite at the Hotel de Cap. The view up here is incredible. I could see the Eiffel Tower, Mount Rushmore, Niagara Falls, Riverfront Stadium, and I could see you as well, which happens to be my favorite sight of all. He added, I must admit that I cannot go through this alone. As far as you've been with me every step of the way, the couple decided to enter rehab together. Lynn insists that despite numerous allegations of Sheen's violence against wives and female companions, he never abused her. Not one time did he raise his voice, she said. No lie. The relationship ended on a sour note nonetheless, due at least in part to Sheen's wandering eye. Toward the end, he turned up a frequent client of Hollywood flights. Lynn was stung when she got a card for her 32nd birthday that read, "You still make my heads turn, only now it's the other way." Underneath, Sheen had scribbled, "Just kidding." Lynn rebounded with a relationship with porn producer Stephen Hirsch that produced her son, Sterling, who is now 14. She began to supplement her acting income by auctioning off personal items, including photos and worn clothing to fans online. I was going to buy socks every day and wearing them to the gym so I could sell them, she said with a smile. I had no laundry to do. I would just wear it and put it on eBay. Her top-selling pair of panties fetched for $1,000. When asked what she thinks of her former movie star boyfriend, present-day rants that have garnered international headlines and offers her warm wishes. We all have demons. We all fight them, she said. We all fall down. We all get back up. I've done it. Everyone knows I've done it, it seems to me, without knowing any details right now. Charlie's going to take a little different course. Hopefully he'll rise again, and he'll be like the feeder. So, and I love how they go, Lynn rebounded with a relationship with porn producer Steve Hirsch. You mean Vivid Entertainment mogul Steve Hirsch. You mean Vivid Entertainment legendary Steve Hirsch, right? Isn't that what you guys are saying? Got it. I guess in 2011, that wasn't that big of a deal. 11, 12, 13, it's 3 years ago, guys. 3 fucking years ago. All right? 3 years ago. But I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, what? Now, jumping forward. Oh, listen to this. Patrick. I always know when my boys come through. And now, here's Ginger Lynn, Patrick said, trying to sell this crap 3 to 4 years ago on Inside Edition.
That was sweet, that was kind, that was generous, that was a good man.
I asked her about his new collection of so-called goddesses, one of whom, like Ginger Lynn, is a former porn star.
If Charlie has goddesses, good for him.
Ginger has kept a treasure trove of mementos of their time together, love letters, poems, and pictures.
Charlie was my first love. And I saved every note, every card, every letter, every gift, everything he ever gave me.
They reveal a very different side of Charlie Sheen. Among the keepsakes is a letter he wrote from rehab in 1991.
I must admit, I cannot go through this alone. And so far, you've been with me every step of the way.
When Ginger was in rehab, he inscribed a copy of a Consumer Reports drug guide.
He wrote to Ginge from one druggie to another. Love seat.
Now Ginger is auctioning all the memorabilia online, including this shirt Sheen wore in the movie Major League. A lot of people are talking about unraveling. Are you worried about Charlie?
I've seen Charlie at some of his most vulnerable times, and he's always bounced back, and I think he will again.
They deal with plenty of drama on their show. Now,
all right, so there's Ginger Lynn even hitting the TV airwaves. All right, thank you, Patrick. And Ginger Lynn, this is all in the, oh my God, what a fuck. Fucking Ginger Lynn, Jesus. Again, I wish you guys could see this guy that Ginger Lynn's dating now, and now you'll explain why all of this is. So, in 2011, Ginger Lynn has all of this stuff that she kept and that she was trying to auction off. And she did all of her press rounds. Now, we haven't heard anything about or from Ginger Lynn about Charlie Sheen in a very long time. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It just so happens that Ginger Lynn poked her head back up and is to talk about Charlie Sheen again. Why? Because Charlie Sheen announced last week that he was getting married to porn star Brett Rossi. And so Charlie Sheen, this time around, it wasn't as big as news as him calling his 2.5 Men producers and writers chew kite bastards. But nonetheless, it made its way on the little gossip channels. And who pokes their old head around? Ginger Lynn. Jesus Christ, it's pathetic. I'm telling you, I feel horrible that I used to jerk off to her, man. It's like now it's like I was jerking off to a retarded girl. So here's the press release that was out yesterday. A legendary porn star, music video vixen, and mainstream Hollywood celebrity Ginger Lynn will be interviewed by co-host Nina Hartley on Ginger's radio show, Blame It on Ginger, regarding letters from Charlie and Martin Sheen, recently released by the courts. That's bullshit. She's had this stuff. The show airs live today, Monday, February 24th from 4 to 6. So we missed it. It was such a big story that I guess we missed it on all the gossip sites because today's fucking Tuesday and my girlfriend, Katie Summers, is on every gossip site there is. She's on E! Entertainment. She's on TMZ. She's on the fucking dirty.com with fucking Dick Bitchy. She's on fucking the Wendy Williams show in the morning. And never, ever has my girl told me that the media was a buzz about Ginger Lynn's radio show yesterday and her big revelations about her old crappy letters that she's had all of her life. Anyways, we'll continue. I've touched on some vague aspects of my relationship with Charlie over the years on a variety of interviews, said Ginger. However, I've never discussed it nor gone into detail about it over a decade of radio. I've never talked about Charlie on any of my shows. With the recent release of Charlie and Martin Sheen's letter, I just feel it's the right time. Listen to me, honey. You've sat there on national television programs and showed a vest that Charlie Sheen wore in a goddamn movie. All right? You've went on national TV shows and showed books that Charlie Sheen gave you where he wrote notes to in. You went on national television shows and read letters that Charlie Sheen personally wrote you. What are you talking about? You've never gone on your own radio show? Well, I mean, are you insane? Why would you go on your own radio show when you had a huge audience on Sirius and actually talk about something relevant? I don't know, because you're fucking dumb and you got some fucking hillbilly retard that's sucking off all your fucking brains that you got left in that old head of yours. And that person, I guess, told you not to do it and save it for your own blockbuster radio show that you told me you were going to have on another network that was going to be bigger than Sirius because your boyfriend told you to hold out because you're scary talent. I'm not real sure. But I've read every single gossip site in the mainstream world, and I have not heard anybody talking or giving a shit about you ever talking about Charlie Sheen in his letters. So, Gingy, I'm sorry, baby, but the old retard that you call your boyfriend that gimps around next to you, you gotta fucking give him a kick to the curb, honey. So, online media, Radar Online exclusively explained the letters by the Hollywood bad boy and his father written to the Los Angeles judge in the 1991 tax evasion trial. In the letter, the younger Sheen called Ginger one of the true love of his life. Who fucking gives a shit? Ginger is, in my opinion, one of the finest people I've ever known, Sheen said in the letter. Her sense of loyalty and compassion far exceed limits which we normally see established for self-interest. She has a powerful sense of integrity, strong Internally defined morality and is at times generous to a fault. Her openness, honesty, sense of humor, and occasional shyness captured my heart immediately. I discovered a very genuine person filled with an overwhelming zest for life. We fell in love shortly therefore and have been happily linked ever since. Sheen added, over the past 6 years, her progress in overcoming obstacles some might label insurmountable has been quite unique. She's taken some major risks in her career and has suffered rejection by some because of these. Yet she's worked hard and kept faith in herself and has survived the risk to establish a promising career as an actress. Charlie's father, Martin Sheen, also presented a letter of support for the actress, saying, I truly believe Miss Allen is a person who will have a positive effect on the lives of many with whom she may come in contact. I am so thrilled to be part of Ginger's discussion of relationship with Charlie, Hartley stated. I know she's mostly avoided the subject on her own shows, and the fact she's chosen to come forward on Monday with me is an honor. Really. So these letters that just mysteriously got released at the same time that Charlie Sheen got engaged to a porn star. You don't think those letters were planted in the media by Ginger Lynn and her genius boyfriend? You don't think that, I mean, you guys, are you all that stupid? Is this got to be the dumbest shit you've ever heard? Again, I feel like when I was younger, I was jerking off to a retarded lady now, the retarded girl. Now the only thing I see is her going, do you want me to fuck the cock anybody? Do you want me to fuck the cock? Because I'm telling you, when I sat with her at this little like meeting, me and Tom Byer and her retarded boyfriend, I literally walked out and I went, Tommy, is that girl that retarded? And Tom Byron went, yep. I went, seriously, dude, she's like a 52-year-old retard. He goes, yep. And I go, but I didn't think Ginger Lynn was like that. He goes, yeah, dude, she was like that when she was young. The only reason she got anywhere is because she was that cute little spinner. And back then when the mob controlled the business and all the guineas and dagos, it was easy to fucking, get what you wanted because the coke was flowing. And people like Tommy Sinopoli and fucking, my dad and all these guys, it was like, oh, hey, yo, look at this. Oh, isn't she cute, little dummy? Come here, dummy. Blow me. Here's some coke. Blow me, dummy. So they're fucking retards. And Tommy's like, that's how they survived. And as they got older, the little spinners turned into big, fat, old trolls. So in turn, you get what you get. I go, seriously, dude. I go, stop fucking around. I go, I didn't think she was that. I thought Ginger Lynn was really intelligent person. He goes, are you fucking kidding me? I said, I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. So, if you missed her show on Monday, you can go to Skid Row Studios station app. And you can also subscribe to the Blame It On Ginger broadcast for free on iTunes. And have it automatically download daily to the device of your choice. In a format that is diverse as its host. Blame It On Ginger spans adult entertainment and mainstream entertainment with porn stars, musicians, comedians, Hollywood celebrities, and other guests visiting the studio each week. Ginger and co-hosts will entertain listeners with sexy, hilarious antics and also live streaming video. Blame It On Ginger will have a different celebrity co-host each day of the week, kicking off each week with legend and iconic sex educator Nina Hartley on Mondays. The show co-host list includes porn star Kelly Shibari on Tuesdays, where they will conduct cooking shows, and Kelly Shibari will eat for the entire 2 hours on the show and show Ginger how you can become a fat ass, a BBW, and lose the BBW award at ABN. Also, comedians Ro Delagrassi on Wednesdays, never heard of. Kelly Nichols, who's got to be about 1,000 years old on Thursdays. And Sapphire on Fridays. We're not real sure who Sapphire is, but she sounds kind of black. Each co-host brings a unique angle to the multifaceted show with Ginger at the helm each day. Blame It on Ginger broadcasts live 5 days a week, 4 to 6, on the Skid Row Radio Network. I never heard of the Skid Row Radio Network. Advertising opportunities available to Blame It on Ginger. For more on Ginger, contact Ginger here. And when you contact Ginger there, you can talk to her retarded boyfriend, who's got to be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever fucking met. So there you go. That was the Ginger Lynn story. And I feel unbelievably horrible that we had to talk about it. But at the end of the day, it was just killing me. And I had to fucking just make mention to... I mean, I feel so bad for Ginger. I really do. I really do. I feel bad for her. I feel so bad for her. Oh, man. Anyways. So there's your porn story of the day. That's what Tom Byron's going to write up today. But I hope, hey, Tommy, just knock on the wall if that was long, if that was fine. Was that good enough? Did I keep it in the allotted time you wanted, you old fucking beef jerky dick? He told me, he said, keep it under like 20 minutes to a half hour, please. That's all I want. Just keep it to under 20 minutes. I started at like 9:30. It's 9:54. I think I made it, right? Knock once if I made it. Hey, there it is. Knock once. All right. So there it is. So it's 9:54 p.m. We're on schedule tonight, for Christ's sakes. I feel good. I might be able to get out of here at a decent time and work out. And because I told you guys I'm gaining weight again. I feel it. I feel it. I gained about 16 pounds. And I should go see my doctor and say, here, asshole. Am I manorexic now, you cocksucker? You motherfucker, I had a drop kick right in your fucking head. Say I'm manorexic. I'm not manorexic. I was just trying to get into peak physical shape, motherfucker. But I gained weight back. I'm not even lifting. Look, see it? See all of a sudden see that now my pants are, they're not loose, so it gives me a little muffin top. But you see, guys, I didn't have this before. I'm gaining weight, not good. So I gotta get to the gym tonight and get back on a fucking schedule. Anyways, let's do a porn rundown real quick, because I really don't think there's anything going on. But let's take a look anyways. So we'll go to it's 9:56 p.m. Let's go to ABN. ABN.com. Absolutely nothing. Fucking bullshit articles. Bullshit, seriously, cut and paste articles, that's it. Cut and paste articles. And a whole bunch of fucking James Bartlett interviews from Exotica, Atlantic City in 2013, Exotica 2013, and then Forbidden Fruits at AEE 2014, and then a video of Sadie Holmes looking like just hideously ugly and stupid looking. Like, seriously, really stupid looking. Like, she's just got this stupid look on her face, like someone's gonna fucking rape her with a fucking dildo with a barbed wire bat on it. And then, of course, porn star of the day is Brett Rossi, who, again, AVN now is trying to glom onto her because she's the one that's with Charlie Sheen. It's like, really, guys, are all you porn people that hard up for any action and any publicity that you're just trying to glom onto motherfuckers? Is Jesus Christ. Oh, God, I get it. Anyways, just a bunch of just a bunch of cut and paste articles. Seriously, just a bunch of fucking cut and paste articles. Oh, God, man, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. And they, I mean, it's it, it's nothing. So, anyways, we'll go to XBiz, see what they got cooking. And they probably got nothing cooking either. Hey, explicit.com, guys. It's 9:58 p.m. and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the sun. I'm not getting anything here. It's like xbiz.com. Come on, motherfucker. I'm pushing enter, and I'm not getting any. My wheels keep spinning. Wheels keep on burning, spinning. Nothing. Why is XBiz not coming up? Is it my computers that suck, or is XBiz just not working? Can anybody help me? Seriously, is XBiz just not coming up? xbiz.com. I'm checking my phone now. Well, it's not even coming up on my phone. So I'm getting the impression, it says xbiz.com will be back shortly. So, okay, I guess they're updating. I don't know. Oh, man, this business is just retarded. All right, let's go to Hillbilly Bitch Boy. Wow. The Hillbilly Bitch Boy has got an article that has appeared in first Cosmopolitan, and then AVN, and then XBiz. And now Mike South is posting it on his site. Are you guys out of your fucking minds? This is who you guys fucking go to every day? Seriously, you guys go to Mike South's site every fucking day to get what news? Think about you guys. Listen. And seriously, going after this guy is like going after a retarded child. Swear to fucking God. Let me just take you on this history. Tom Byron's gotta fucking write this up, because I told Tom Byron anytime Mike South he's just got to be the biggest loser in the world. All right, guys, and we'll end it with this, because XBiz is not coming up, and it says we'll be back shortly. And on my site, on my phone, it says cannot connect to my SQL server. So that means the XBiz is down. They're updating, or I don't know. They're getting rated. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. So when we go to MikeSouth.com, okay. Okay, you Dexter Morgan take out Dave Riley and porno that really channels. That we can get Dexter Morgan to take out James Bartle shit and porno. Who the fuck is Dexter Morgan? I don't even know who Dexter Morgan is. I don't even know who that is. So you guys got to check this out. And one of my guys is telling me to go to Mike South's Wikipedia. He says you got to go to Mike South's Wikipedia. What is it? Mikey Struthers? Who the fuck is Mikey Struthers? Alright, hold on, you guys. Oh, XBiz is back up. See? Oh man, I got a shit building, guys. No bullshit. Alright, hold on. Big wheels keep on turning. Who the fuck is Mike Struthers? Big wheels keep on turning. Now you want to keep on turning. Motherfucker, if you guys want me to go somewhere, just give me the fucking link, you jerk-offs. Alright, xbiz.com. I'm seeing nothing on xbiz.com. Forbidden Fruits, AdamMail.com to auction art for AIDS. What is it, AIDS art? Because he got AIDS blood on the art. What's Adam Mail got on auctioning AIDS art? What is AIDS art? What is AIDS art? Is it fucking AIDS thrown on a canvas? Someone could help me. Tell me what AIDS art is. I'd like to know. Please tell me what AIDS art is. Is that the same as shit art? Okay. Somebody, I got it, my man. So you guys got to go. I'm being told to go to Mike South's Wikipedia. I'm told to go to Mike South's Wikipedia because it's supposed to be funny. That's what I'm being told. It's supposed to be funny. Mike South, real name Michael Thomas Struther, born December 26, 1957, is a failed American pornography actor, failed blogger, and failed pornography gossip columnist. Prior to entering adult entertainment, he worked as a computer scientist at NASA. 2 of the films he directed have won AVN Awards for Best Amateur Release, Southern Bells 4 in 1997 and Southern Bells 8 in 1988. Also in the 90s, he was fired from Allegheny because of poor cameramanship. He did a POV movie and was to have alleged swords on his genitals. In seeing this, those in charge at Allegheny choose to let him go. In May 2007, South underwent surgery to remove a nerve sheath tumor. References, Bain Kiriat, pornographers worked for NASA before adult film. Adrian Chen, the worst porn gossip ever blog. Meet Mike South, the man who got the porn industry syphilis outbreak. This is funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. That's some comedy, man. That's funny. All right. Very funny. Anyway, back to Mike South. So, you go to Mike South's website, and this is just, it's just amazing to me, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to end it with this. And this just shows you, once again, what a fake-ass punk bitch fraud Mike South is. And the guy, without me as the boogeyman, has nothing to do, nothing to talk about. And if you go through his archives, and when I explained to you guys, I used to either be in prison or I had my hands tied, and that's why he got a fucking free ride to mouth off like a bitch punk that he is. Because under the circumstances, now I was in no position to basically speak out. And now that I speak out, this faggot punk bitch doesn't even know what to do. He's a bitch-ass punk, and now that I'm up his ass on a daily basis, he's running scared like a fucking cunt. He's a faggot, and he's a worthless piece of shit who still to this day won't acknowledge the fucking turd picture I sent him Sunday because he's a faggot punk-ass bitch. And, ladies and gentlemen, here is your biggest evidence of somebody that is nothing but a liar, somebody that fabricates stories, and all you got to do is hit him up and go, I'm an anonymous poster, and I heard President Barack Obama is fucking Andy Sandemus, and Mike South will run on his site, Andy Sandemus is fucking the president. That's how much of a hillbilly douchebag he is, and he's run on the premise of having some site that is the all-knowing site, which is nothing more than him sitting there with 3 people telling lies. That's all he does. That's all he's ever done. He never has any real information. And here's case in point. And let me explain and show you, ladies and gentlemen. So, remember, the last story this fag did was on February 20th, Cal OSHA, talking about they've been busy going after all these companies. And he posts a story about Evil Angel. Now, the Evil Angel link all of a sudden doesn't work. And Mike South professes to everybody that it did work. But yet, from the morning at 9 a.m. LA time to 7 o'clock at night LA time, that link never ever worked. So the time that Mike South said it worked, which would be a window of about an hour and a half. And we pointed out the fact that on top of the thing that his link didn't work, none of his posters that were now debating the Cal OSHA article bothered to tell him the link didn't work, which means the people that were posting under anonymous names are him. They're him and his little friends that are posting and talking back and forth. And they wouldn't go to the link and click on it because they already knew it didn't work. They already knew what happened. So in turn, they were in the know, which means they were just shills, just like all of his message board posters. They're either him or little faggot friends of his that are too scared to post as their real names because they're bitch-ass punks. That's why. They've amounted to nothing in life, and they'll never amount to anything. So the Mike South story goes unverified until a poster asks Mike South, hey, retard, did you know the Evil Angel link don't work? And he went, oh, that's funny. It worked before, it must be broken now. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was on the 20th. So after he gets outed that the story that he's trying to sell to everybody is meaningless because the information and proof that is on the site to talk about isn't there, he comes back the very next day with a Scott Sparks story. Now that's on the 21st. Now on the 21st, he talks about Scott Sparks. Nobody's ever heard of Scott Sparks except for fucking Mike South because some loser girl happened to be getting fucked by Scott Sparks. Not just figuratively, but literally. She was getting fucked and doing scenes with Scott Sparks. But I guess their relationship broke down, and now she was asking Mike South to just talk shit about her because I guess she had poor judgment. Or she had good judgment. We're not sure what she had except Scott Sparks' jizz in her mouth. And now Mike South was going to save a hoe and tell everybody that Scott Sparks is a scumbag because he told this girl he would make her a big star, and guess what? She's not a big star because she's a hillbilly, no-teeth retard that would be friends with Mike South and would actually think Scott Sparks would make her a star, which means she doesn't know anybody in the porn business that has any stature that would say to her, this guy's a loser. So that's on the 21st, ladies and gentlemen. Now, on the 22nd, which is the day after, now he's already posted the story about Evil Angel and had his entire loser friends, all 2 of them, and their fake names, write stories about what it all means, even though there's no evidence. And now day 2 goes by, Scott Sparks, no mention of the Evil Angel story. Day 3 goes by, and we have a story on Friday, this 22nd, which is Gianna from Reality Kings working with Thomas Scott Sparks. So now his big update of the day is a girl, Gianna, is now working with Scott Sparks. Okay? Do you realize that? So Gianna from Reality Kings is working with Scott Sparks, and he's upset that they're all working together. So Mike South's going to out them. Now that's the 3rd day. Now we have the next day, ladies and gentlemen, which is the 22nd of that same day, but it's at night, where Mike South's post is the disappearing Cal OSHA inspection records. So now he decides to do a follow-up after talking about Scott Sparks for 2 days. And he's now going to inform everybody that there is a stone wall going on. He's basically telling us that these records disappeared from a federal site, and there is a stone wall going on, much like Mike South is Jim Garrison, and this is the JFK investigation. So now Mike South's being stonewalled. So he puts this out there to explain to everybody, hey man, he's too hot of an investigator, and now, baby, people are stonewalling him. They might be planting bombs around his trailer or something like that. So then, ladies and gentlemen, his next story off of that is Rob Black is responsible for everything in porn. So after his Stonewall story, which is sandwiched between Scott Sparks and Gianna from Reality Kings, is now a story about me, where I told the world how I fired his ass from Elegant Angel, and he's a worthless piece of shit, lying douchebag who's gotten a fucking pass for the last decade of being anything other than a scumbag that he is. And at the end of the day, he writes a story that is pretty retarded, and his biggest thing is, I bounced checks. Wow. That's the equivalent of Bill Clinton getting a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky and us hearing about it for the 9,000th fucking time. All right? It's one of those things when a Republican goes, you know, Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the office, and everybody goes, oh, Jesus. And they just roll their eyes. They go, oh, God. All right, yeah, great. So that's what Mike South is busy reporting on, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is Sunday. And that continues at the end when he says Sundays are a slow day. And that goes all the way to the 24th, which is a Monday. And I guess Mondays are a slow day also because he left the post up for another day. So now the second day, and I didn't know Mondays were slow days, ladies and gentlemen. For us, Mondays are busy days. Yesterday was a very busy day for us. If you go to the Adult FYI site, if you listen to the shows, we talked about a ton of things that happened over the weekend. There was a lot of action. There's a lot of new clips up. I mean, it's fucking busy. Everybody in America knows Mondays are the busiest days. Fridays are slow days. It's the Friday that people go home early, but Monday is the first day back to work. And guess what? Mikey South left the Rob Black story up from Sunday because Monday's also a slow day for the retard in a fucking trailer. But, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better. Because guess what today's story is, ladies and gentlemen? After these heart-pounding stories that he let everybody read, today's story and his top headline is, "The Duke freshman porn star is a smart cookie." So, what he says in his post is, if you haven't seen the news stories, allow me to recap briefly. There's a female freshman at Duke University and straddled with a tuition exceeding $60,000 per year. She's decided that doing porn to pay for her education makes sense for her. A guy in a fraternity at Duke found her out and exposed her. Instead of running the girl whom everyone is calling Lauren, Lauren has stood her ground. Here's a few quotes from Lauren. So now he posts a bunch of quotes. Okay, guys? And at the end of it, at the end of all of his quotes that he's lifting from the Cosmopolitan article, he ends it with, "Now that's the kind of performer that we as an industry should be supporting and having speak for us. Good for her." Okay, do you guys realize that this story is about a week old? This story is from last week. Do you realize that Cosmopolitan posted this? This is Cosmopolitan's story. Do you realize that Mike South isn't even giving credit for Cosmopolitan on doing this story? Is this gotta be the biggest, douchiest, fucking laziest piece of shit blogger in the entire fucking world? And any of you 3 or 4 loser fucking keyboard warrior faggots don't fucking even think for 1 second that this guy is a douche. And all of you are sitting here responding to comments on this story, which is a week old. You all are fucking loser, pathetic retards. And one of the posters said, "I like it when Rob Black calls me a retard." Honey, listen, legitimately, you're sitting there on Mike South's comment board commenting on a story that's from last week that was posted by a writer from Cosmopolitan. And Mike South lifted the fucking story and cut and pasted it on his fucking site. Seriously, I know it's funny that I call you a retard and that's a way to deflect the reality, but you really are fucking stupid. You're commenting on a fucking story that was done by the hard-working people at fucking Cosmopolitan. And you fucking are sitting there commenting on it as if it's a brand new story that Mike South broke. It's a week-old story that has been posted on XBiz and it's been posted on AVN. And they both at least gave credit to Cosmopolitan. And now Mike South has lifted it from Cosmopolitan, put it on his website as if it's his own fucking story, and all of you imbeciles are commenting on it. You people are fucking pathetic. You fucking seriously, I know that you think this is all a big game and a big joke, and ha ha ha, Rob Black says funny things about us and calls us a retard. You people are fucking pathetic. This is what you guys got to do with your fucking lives, is to comment on Mike South's message board about a story that's a week old and was stolen from Cosmopolitan. What a bunch of pathetic fucking losers you guys are. Seriously, man. This is basically what Mike South has done in the past 5 days. Okay? He posted a story about Kalosha being busy and made up a bunch of shit and gave you all links that didn't work. And from there, he made a story about Scott Sparks, 2 of them, a story about me bouncing a check, or bouncing checks, and then lifted a Cosmopolitan fucking story and put that as his own. Are you fucking people serious? I'm on here fucking 6 hours a day coming up with new and creative material. And listen, seriously, are you fucking people this insanely stupid in life that this is what you guys got nothing better to do? Fucking amazing. There you go. There's your porn rundown. AVN cut and pastes, XBiz cut and pastes, but at least both of them give credit to who they're cutting and pasting from. Mike South doesn't even give credit to the fucking proper people. And he actually posts it as it's his own fucking story. And you fucking retards, okay? You fucking retards actually fucking are commenting on a Cosmopolitan story. That's how fucking pathetic you people are. Fucking amazing, man. Fucking amazing. Unbelievable. God bless you all. And if this doesn't show you how Mike South is a hero to the fucking stupid and just a complete fucking moron, I don't know what else is. And all of you fucking pathetic keyboard warriors that sit there and actually make up little fucking names to hide behind because if you used your real names, you would get laughed out of the fucking world. God bless you, man. But your boy Mike South is nothing more than exactly what he is, a phony and a fraud. Take a look at the website. Proof is in the pudding. 5, almost 6 days go by and not one meaningful fucking story. And his big story is Cosmopolitan that he stole. Way to go. Way to go, guys. There's your porn news. All right. So we're done tonight. It's 10:20. We're out of here. And I'm going to go take a Mike South. I think I'm going to take I'll take another picture of it and I'll send it to him. See if he'll post it. I doubt he will. He didn't post my other picture of my shit. But hey, what do you expect from a punk-ass bitch? Like I said, he used to love to talk about me and spread bullshit about me when I couldn't open my mouth. Now that I fucking call him out every day, he's nowhere to be found. All you got to do is look through his old archives on his site and listen to all the bullshit smack he talked. But now, I guess he don't want to talk about me. What's up with that? I guess he only wanted to talk about me when I was under federal indictment or when I was in prison. But now that the handcuffs are off, he's scared to death. He's a punk-ass bitch that I've revealed. His keyboard warriors that respond on his message board are a bunch of hiding punks. They're a bunch of faggot losers. They hide. They fucking hide. If you have to hide behind a fake name, you're a loser. Don't you guys get that? Don't you understand that when you can't even use your real fucking name, in any type of conversation, that means you're a loser. Don't you get that? Fucking loser. And you are exactly what you are. Somebody that has amounted to zero all of your lives. It's the Rob Black Show. You know what time it is? It's time for something very special. Okay? It's time for something very special. And we call that a closing time. Yes, we do. We call it closing time. And the best way to describe it, oh, Jesus. Did I turn off on you guys? I think I turned off on you guys. Anyways, fuck you. It's closing time. We're out of here. We're done. We're good. We're out of here. Tomorrow at noon, we'll be here. And don't forget to see Katie Summers tonight. She's camming. She's camming her ass off. That's what she's doing. She wants a new bed. She wants, this fucker wants everything. Okay? This motherfucker wants the world. She wants gold. She wants riches. She wants Rolexes. She wants new lips. She wants it all. She wants cash. Go. Go. Go see Katie right now. Rob Black Show. We'll see you fuckers tomorrow at 10 a.m. or noon. I don't even know what time we're going. But fuck, we're gonna be here. See you tomorrow at noon. Alright?